ライオン神エスカノール様だ。震えるさ。
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Critic Alex, and as you can see, I am busy farming red books. It's half off Solgris Dungeon, so make sure you farm those books to sell for gold. Make sure you farm those XP potions so you don't end up like me without having any XP potions. And yeah, but that's not the topic of today's video. Now, if you follow other 7 Deadly Sins content creators, if you follow stuff on Reddit, you've probably already seen Twitter as well. You've probably already seen the fake or the sort of fan-made pretend collaboration with 7 Deadly Sins and Demon Slayer. So Kimetsu no Yaiba. So yeah, that was done for whatever. It was done for fun. It was done as a joke. It was done to kind of troll people. Whatever the case may be for why it was done, it doesn't matter. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty funny. And I personally like Demon Slayer quite a bit from what I've seen from the first season. But what I wanted to do instead was, interestingly enough, talk about potential anime collabs that this game could get. That would be amazing because I play a lot of other games. A lot of Marvel games don't ever get any sort of collaborations besides ones where they create original characters, which 7 Deadly Sins has with characters like Lilia and Roxy, etc. But in King of Fighters All-Star, I play that. They've already done multiple collaborations with like Tekken and Samurai Showdown, and they're about to do another collaboration with WW, like World Wrestling, with The Rock and Cena and stuff like that, which is crazy. And then this sort of thing happened where I know there's already been a slime collab in JP for 7 Deadly Sins, and there may have been one other collab that I'm not aware of. There's also a Gintama collab in King of Fighters, which I'll mention in a little bit for 7 Deadly Sins. But yeah, I thought it'd be cool with the not collab for Demon Slayer not happening, to give you guys my ideas for the top 5, not top 5, just 5 collabs that I think would be really cool for this game and would really suit this game's sort of playstyle. So number 1 on the list for me, not necessarily the top pick. I think this would be some people's top picks, but the number 1 that jumped out at me would be Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter would be a sick collab for this game because there's such a large cast of really cool characters from that anime and that manga that they could choose from. Obviously, you have like main characters like Killua and Gon, but then you have so many cool side characters that didn't get enough play. But like, for example, this is small spoilers, but there's a volleyball sort of boss battle that Gon and Killua have to overcome with Hisoka, and that volleyball guy, I can't quite remember his name, apologies to him, but he would make a really cool sort of boss stage or sort of final boss type thing in this game. Not to mention the fact that Hunter x Hunter doesn't have any anime or doesn't have any games based on the anime, based on the manga that I know of. There may be one out there. I think some of the characters from the game are in other games, like maybe some of them are in Jump Force, but that game is not very good, so that doesn't really count. Like a dedicated game based on the anime or manga. Plus, there's the possibility that if the game came out, or if there was a collab, let's say, and with this game it could be so successful that it would put more attention and maybe get more resources for the mangaka who does Hunter x Hunter, and then help him sort of jumpstart, because I know he has some health issues and stuff like that. So I think that'd be amazing. Number 2, Full Metal Alchemist. Again, I can't think of any anime or game based on the anime. But such a good series, one of the best animes ever. I'm actually referring more specifically to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, but that's just like a more condensed version of Full Metal Alchemist. So good, so many meaningful characters, so many cool storylines, and it would just be nice to see like Alucard and his brother in the game. And you know, some other characters too, like Roy Mustang with the fire. I think their skills would just look really cool in this game. You can see Gila sort of, doing her best Roy Mustang impression. So yeah, I think that'd be dope. Number 3, this one's sort of a personal favorite. This is Yu Hakusho. If you haven't seen it, it's a little bit older of an anime, but I really think it would be good. They have some pretty iconic characters and there's some pretty iconic villains as well, like the Toguro brothers. So I think they could make for some interesting comps and some interesting character designs. And they could have some, like, especially the demon forms of some of those characters could sort of mimic or imitate the way that they have commandments in this game. Not exactly the same way, but maybe give them an extra passive, or give them one of their active skills having sort of a mutated form when they take enough damage, or when they complete or fulfill some sort of mini quests during the battle, like play enough cards or move enough cards or combine enough cards or whatever, deplete your alt gauge enough time or have your alt gauge depleted. So yeah, I think Yu Yu Hakusho would be amazing, and this one is just, you know, it's my video, and I just really like Yu Yu Hakusho personally, and so I think it would be super well, and also the music in Yu Yu Hakusho I think is quite good, and so I wouldn't mind having 1 or 2 tracks from that anime make their way into Seven Deadly Sins, maybe only when you were using like those flavored characters or in those characters flavored stages. I don't know how collabs work. I haven't actually investigated the slime collab to know if it was something that was just banner based or if it actually permeated the game in other ways, like if there was a special event or if there was some sort of ongoing boss or something like that, or some, you know, just a special farming stage. It doesn't necessarily have to be difficult, right? But have something like a limited PvP event based on the Dark Tournament from Yu Yu Hakusho. Season 2 would be like absolutely chef's kiss, because the Dark Tournament is the best arc in that entire show's 4 seasons. So yeah, it'd be dope in my opinion. Coming in at number 4, we have Gintama. Now Gintama, I haven't seen a lot of it, and I know that, like I said, King of Fighters All-Star already had a collab with Gintama, but Gintama is sort of like the wild or sort of the dark horse of the group. It's just a weird anime. It's very sarcastic, it's very irreverent. And so having something like that in a game like this, I think they could really capture that sort of sarcastic, comedic style of the game. This is very cartoony graphics, and you have these sort of attacks, and you have these animations. So they could really take advantage of that, and you could have the characters transform into their characters and sort of do imitations and poses and stuff like that. I know that a lot of you out there, when I name my 5th one, you're gonna get upset at me. It's not JoJo. I know some of you really like JoJo. I really like JoJo's as well, but I don't know if JoJo's would. I don't know if it would really translate well into this game, because like you have Jotaro, for example. The season 1 and 2 stuff would probably translate better, but once you start getting into stand users, I mean, I guess like, you know, Jotaro and Star Platinum could stand there together, and then when you play the card, whatever, he doesn't move, and then Star Platinum punches or whatever. But it just, I think it might feel a little bit too stiff for this game, because it's not even really him doing the movement. Like, he does initiate something, but then it's really the stand that does everything else. And then how would you do certain stands like Zawarudo? Like, how would you do the world for Dio, right? How would you illustrate that in the game? It would be so OP. Like, skip one of your enemy's turns. They can't play any cards. They're just completely locked out for a turn. Yeah, that sounds busted. I mean, maybe some of you guys would like that. Maybe I would like that too, but that just sounds way too busted. So yeah, no, unfortunately, JoJo's did not make the cut for me. Although the characters are amazing, they would look amazing in this game. I'm just a bit, you know, yeah, it seems a bit too difficult for me to envision them actually making it into this game in a way that still stays true to what this game is about. So, going through Hunter x Hunter, Full Metal Alchemist, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Gintama, my number 5 pick. This is the normie pick. This is the, like, you can laugh at me pick. It's not Naruto. It's not Naruto. It's not that bad. But it's My Hero Academia. I know. It's just, here's the thing. It's a really good show. I love it. It reminds me so much of the X-Men. And the X-Men from Marvel are like some of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe. So for me, it's really hard not to fall in love with My Hero Academia. It does have some of the very typical tropes of a shonen, but at the same time, I feel like they have one of the best cast of villains in any anime that I've seen in a while. Like, the variety of villains, the different motivations that villains have, the different power sets that villains have. Like, they're not all bulky, hulking, overpowering brutes, right? You've got some of them, like the guy with the, I can't remember, with the glove, with the hand over his face. You have All for One. You've got like a lot of different villains. So I really think more than the heroes, like the heroes are really cool. Like Sun Eater would be amazing in this game. Don't get me wrong. And my boy Mirio. But I think the villains even more so would make such a cool collab. I was thinking about like a My Hero Academia final boss battle where you fight against like a Nomu, or you fight against, you know, one of the other villains. Would be so like Hero Killer, something like that. And so like every time he kills one of your characters on the team, he gets like a crazy buff. Or like when he inflicts a bleed and it lasts longer than a turn, so you have to like constantly be purging these bleeds and stuff like that. Like, I think there's some really cool concepts, because I think one thing that Seven Deadly Sins does really well is that the character feels unique, every character feels unique, even when you have multiple copies of the same character. It's like Green King and Blue King. They're basically the same character, but because of the way that their skills are completely different than one another, and the way that their passives don't interact with one another, they feel like completely different characters to play, right? Like Blue King, you play him slow, you build it up. Green King, you're trying to ramp fast, and then you're trying to nuke. So they have different play styles, and so I feel like that meshing with the fact that the characters are really designed really well, and the skills of the characters are designed really well, even the alts would just lend itself so well to something like My Hero Academia, especially because a lot of the heroes and villains end up teaming up for better and for worse. So that blends itself perfectly to associations and the combined attacks. Like, could you imagine like a Deku Bakugo combined attack? Like how sick that would be, right? Like he goes whatever into the thing and like punches the guy up, and then Buddy just like, you know, blows him up with explosives from his sweat from long range. Like that would, you know, it would just be dope. It's sort of like Gila and Jericho, actually, if you think about it, with her brilliant detonation. So yeah. Shout out to whoever came up with the sort of fan-made Kimetsu no Yaiba collabs, X 7 Deadly Sins, whatever you want to call it, the fake collab. Shout out to you, because I had a real kick looking at it and going through the comments on Twitter and stuff and seeing people's reactions. And I also got a really big kick out of then stepping back and thinking about it and be like, damn, well, that's one thing that anime-based games do really well, and the manga-based games, is they do collabs really well. Like, so many Japanese games have collabs, and actually those images from that Demon Slayer thing were pulled from another collab that actually did happen with this weird sort of like monster pull and shoot game. I don't like those types of games, but they're popular in Japan. And so that like monster shooter game actually did a collab with Demon Slayer. So it's not even like there wasn't a collab, right? So it's pretty wild. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Give me your top 5 animes that you would want to see do a collab in this game, whether it's a large collab or a small scale collab, or if you would rather no collabs. I know maybe some people don't want any collabs with this game. They want to keep it pure. They want to keep it in the 7 Deadly Sins universe. Or maybe you want something that's a little bit more closely aligned with the way that this game sort of has its lore and its technology. So something more along the lines of like Berserk, or possibly Attack on Titan. Maybe that's a bit too advanced technologically, but you get what I'm saying, rather than something that could be more further in the future, because this is set in sort of like that Middle Ages period where people are still using horses and stuff like that. So hit me up in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.